All right, listen. We have a lot to say about Death Stranding 2. We both just rolled credits after about a month of playing. Let's get into it.
This video is going to be absolutely full of spoilers, so careful going in.
Anything that comes to our mind, we're going to be talking about it, and it's all spoilers. So
yeah. So that being said, how'd you feel about this game startup?
were those real landscapes?
Oh my god! Right, all in engine. Yeah, let's get right to it, dude.
Okay. I couldn't find any definitive answers, but I think that some of it was like actual photography.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think it looked like too good.
Yeah, with some things dropped in, like obviously the cryptobiotes climbing, like that's obviously not real, but I think it's a mix of in-engine graphics and actual like principal photography.
You don't need guys like us to say this, but it's obvious that the graphics in this game are just insane.
Yeah.
They are so gorgeous. Whatever they did with this Decima engine, it's electrifying. This game looks so good.
Yeah, and the fact that it loads immediately, like it's still so like wonderfully optimized that it can just, but like there's barely loading screens, barely.
Yeah, I didn't have a single hiccup in my 50 hours with this game. Did you?
No, game ran perfect.
Same.
Yeah, I played in performance mode. Same. I'd rather have a solid smooth frame rate than negligible ray tracing. In the opening, when you're on that mountain, and I don't know, song starts playing. Fantastic. We got to just say right off the bat, Woodkid, great decision. Great decision for a sequel, like having Low Roar be kind of the focal point of DS1. Having Woodkid do DS2 is great.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable musician. Served the game so well in just a different way, but also kind of familiar.
Yeah. Especially the single, To the Wilder, was it?
Yeah.
It just fit the plating of this game perfectly.
It's a banger, dude.
It's like very orchestral.
Yeah.
It's almost theatric. A little theater kiddie for my blood, but in the context of this game, it was perfect.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that song specifically has a few somber melodicisms, if you will, that tug just a little bit, enough to just be like, woo. Ooh, that was a nice little thing you did there. And I've listened to a bunch of Woodkid. I didn't know anything about him before this game.
Yeah, same.
But I know a lot of people were very, very excited when they heard that Woodkid was doing it, because I guess he's just, I don't know, he's been lighting the music world on fire with this shit for years. And I'm a fan now. I didn't know about Low Roar, and I became a fan. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Also very cool to have some Low Roar tracks in
towards
this game
the end
as well.
Yeah, towards the end of the game, it felt well deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glaring omission. Anything you need, I did not hear that song in this game, and I needed to hear it because that's my favorite Low Roar track. The music's great. Got no complaints about the music at all. Stellar as always. There were definitely a bunch of other artists that had some really banger tracks on this. I feel like some of it was paced a little weird.
Was paced a little weird, huh?
Yes.
In what way?
For specifically in the mountain section, which is a fucking slog in this game, by the way.
It is. It is. We'll get there, but yeah.
So there was this. So there's this mountain section, right? And you need to find the adventurer again, right?
Yep.
You go, get the adventurer, you bring him back, and then you have to go do something else and get something that's close to there, and then come back again. And it's like treacherous terrain. You get no music until you're on the way back from the second trip. By that time, I'm on the floating carrier, cruising down that mountain. I'm down there in 20 seconds, but on the way back on that second trip, that's when they decide to drop a song, to the point where I can't even hear it, because I'm down that mountain already. I am surfing down that mountain so fast.
Snowboard 1080.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, this song could have dropped like on the way up, but on the way down, it's like I'm using the carry and I'm surfing down here. Songs were dropping, and I'm reaching my destination in a matter of seconds. And so I don't even get the experience of like really feeling the weight of that song.
All the characters in this game being in this new locale, which is, Mexico and Australia, I loved every single new addition.
Who's your favorite character?
My favorite new character? Oh man, Tarman's pretty fun.
Tarman was great.
Tarman's great.
Tarman's great. I like Tarkat, even though I don't think
great.
I don't think the cat got a name, but we're gonna call it Tarkat. The cat probably does have a name. I don't remember it.
Same. I don't remember either. He wears like the leader captain hat super well. He's
Yes.
so kind. He's so,
Yes. I mean, it's tough not to say Dollman, right?
Dollman's amazing.
I wish most of the interactions you have with him weren't in your private room, because you could talk to him forever in your room.
Right.
He's on the wall
Yeah.
and you're chatting with
Yeah.
him. I wish there were more scenarios where you could just get information from him or just have little quips back and forth, like while you're
Like on the road?
It happens sometimes, but
Sure.
I feel like there are some things that he could be saying in your private room. He could be saying out there in the world. But still, I love him. I love his little frame rate thing he's got going on.
Yeah,
That's
it's
like,
so good.
It's like 10 frames a second or something.
Right.
It just makes it like, it's just weird. That being said, there's a huge aspect of Death Stranding 1 that is completely fucking missing in Death Stranding 2 that I found myself really missing. And that is loneliness.
Huh.
And you are never alone in this game. All of your friends are in tow wherever you go. And you have Dollman with you all the time.
A chatty companion.
And then every single, for all intents and purposes, almost every single place that you go to, Magellan pops up, your entire crew is there. What really pulled me into DS1, it could have been the pandemic when we played it.
That is true.
Could have been that. I think certain sections of DS1 hit me really hard just being alone in that world.
Yeah.
And I never truly felt alone in this game at all. And that's just a me thing. I like the isolationism in that game. I didn't feel it here, but maybe that's not what this game is about, and that's fine.
Well, I mean, going in, I felt like it wasn't going to be about that. You know, DS1, we're instantiating the chiral network. We're getting it off the ground. We're connecting the whole country.
Sure.
We're putting that shit online.
Yeah.
This game continues a little less than a year, and not only has it still been online and expanding even further, the tech hasn't halted. Things are advancing, so we're playing in a world where like the tech has been growing in the background. So naturally, we can't be as isolated as we were. The whole country's been connected.
That's a good point.
Now they're just trying
And
to connect the world. You know?
And I think in the context of this, of the lore of this game, I feel like it does make sense that now you are not alone. Considering Fragile's always saying you will never be alone.
Sure.
We will always be with you. So like, I don't mean that as a knock against it. I mean it as how I resonate with this type of game. I like games that make me feel lonely. I love Silent Hill. I love Metroid. Games where you feel like you're helpless and alone are, I guess, experiences that I resonate with. I guess I'm just now realizing that.
It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned those two games, especially because this might be my game of the year.
I think it's mine right now. I hope that it doesn't stay that way.
We had said this to each other. It's going to take an absolute fucking miracle for this not to be our game of the year. I still hold firm with that feeling. I think it's going to take an absolute miracle for this not to be my game of the year. But I think there are potentially 4 games still coming this year that could even have a chance to. Metroid, Silent Hill F.
I mean, it would be a miracle for Silent Hill F to be a better game than Death Stranding 2.
I'm just giving it the chance.
Of course.
You know?
Of course.
Yeah, because I can't wait for that game.
Prime 4 has a good chance. And Ghost of Yotei has a good chance.
Yeah, all the games that could dethrone this game for me as game of the year, all female protagonists. If you count Silksong.
Seems pretty androgynous, but...
Yeah. What was your favorite character?
Number 1 with a bullet. It's Higgs, my man. It's absolutely Higgs.
Higgs was incredible in this game.
Except for the fact that he just said the same thing every single time you fucking saw him.
Sure, he did. You know,
just
he
like,
just...
you're a repatriate. So you can't die. And then a few hours later, you meet him again. Well, I guess I can't kill you because you're a repatriate and you cannot die. And then it's kind of the same speech he has over and over again. But Troy Baker's performance.
Sure. Higgs's stakes in this game, much more narrow. Mm-hmm. He's just purely in it for revenge. And that one instance where he does enact the revenge and you have to literally play through
It's brutal.
the die, repatriate. Come back and you're just on fire. You die again. Do the thing. It was like 7 times or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
Man, dude,
it was brutal.
my butt was so clenched that whole time.
Yeah. And it was funny because then I'm like, how are you gonna get out of this? And then Rainey showed up and I was like, of course. Why did I not see that coming?
Because we've got our team now.
Yeah. I like Rainey. Her condition is interesting. I thought it was gonna play more into the bigger story. I was expecting Sam to have more of a voice in this game. I feel like Kojima Productions are trying to find this middle ground between Norman Reedus as Sam Bridges and also Sam as an avatar for the player.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Because he doesn't really have a lot of voiced reactions to really much that's going, like really anything that's going on in the game.
Sure.
And I think that's to let you feel things as opposed to watching him feel things.
He just essentially lost another person, that being Lou.
Yeah.
Right? So the dude we're probably playing as Sam in a shock state basically the whole game. He's hallucinating her still being in the pod.
Yeah.
So to me, it always made sense that he didn't really have much to say, because this dude he's trying to just retire first off and just live a quiet, simple life.
Yeah.
And he's also in this huge shock state, I think.
It's a good point. I don't buy it so much. Mainly just because you spend so much time, and I don't know. I don't mean this in a negative way. I applaud the fact that I think this is what's happening. Like, there are certain things that happen in this game that are devastating, and you don't get too much reaction from them. As far as like vocalizing anything, like it's mostly just facial reactions. He's not like, oh, fuck. Like, none of that happens in this game. And I think that's for you to feel. I feel like he doesn't want to, and when I say he, I mean Hideo Kojima, but like, I know it's not just him who makes this game. It's a whole team of amazing, brilliant people. But I feel like having him be a little subdued leaves room for you to feel it more than you being a spectator watching someone else feel it.
Love it.
And I think they're trying to find a balance, and it can come off as a little stilted sometimes. Sure. But I mean, that's kind of what I love about Kojima, is that it's fucking weird and odd and kind of just makes you uncomfortable sometimes.
Let's talk about one character in particular. I mean, I was hooked in this game from the jump, but there was a moment with this new Neil guy where I was completely spellbound. I didn't know my PS5 could do this. I got an LG G4 OLED TV. I'm running this thing at 120 frames per second on a PlayStation. The moment where you dive into like the Day of the Dead Mexico, and the fireworks are going, like right after the Honda motorcycle product placement. Yeah. The fireworks are fucking going. The reflections of the fireworks and the puddles of water before you get into that gunfight with him and his crew.
Yeah, it's just like Sparkler City, where like there's so many particle effects. But for real though, like my jaw hit the floor watching that. I was like, what is this? Yeah. Like seeing all that, and then also looking at the ground, and the ground is wet, and you're seeing all the reflections from all that. It was the first time, and I think you said it first. Yeah. It was the first time playing your PS5 and being like, oh, this is a next gen game. Yeah. That we finally got on this system. Sure. Like you could see the difference between the PS4 and the PS5 in just this scene alone, and be like, oh, the PS4 could definitely not fucking handle this.
No, not even close.
And everything else has been kind of marginal that we've seen since then, in my opinion.
And it was such a good engagement after that too. That gunfight, it was awesome.
Very Metal Gear.
So Metal Gear, dude.
Very Metal Gear.
I loved it. I loved every second of this.
I love how clunky. Should we just go into combat?
Well, how did you feel about Neil as a whole? Him being like the new Cliff Unger. At first, I didn't really like how it was literally the same thing as the Cliff situation. You step outside of one of the bunkers, and now instead of like a big storm that's going to bring you into this other beach area, now it's the tar that's going to bring you into Neil's beached area.
A little disenchanted by it, honestly. Yeah. I like Neil as a character.
Me too.
I felt like it was just straight up the same as Cliff.
Yeah.
Like as far as how it was presented. Just kind of someone trying to kill you in this alternate world. You don't know who he is. And to be honest, you don't get any fucking information about who this guy is until the end of the game. Like you find this guy and then you don't know a single fucking thing about him until you find out that he had the same therapist as you and also had relations with the therapist like you also did. And then you find out that and then you find out nothing else for the rest of the game.
Yeah. The pacing side B of this game was a little funny, and I think the mountain had a lot to do with that. The mountain was a vibe in a lot of ways.
Yeah, of course.
I really enjoyed it. I know you were pretty late into getting the coffin board.
Yeah.
That coffin board changed the entire mountain experience for me. Oh my God, dude, I was ripping with that thing.
Dude, I was ripping through it too, but it didn't change all that much because a lot of places were not on the chiral network on the mountain.
That's fair.
So
you can't even get close to those borders.
Yeah. And then once, I don't know, by the time I got everything open to the point where I could use the coffin board, game was kind of over for me.
I wish I could have told you to like, yo, you want this thing soon, you want it early, go get it.
You couldn't tell me because I
didn't want to spoil that for you.
It would have been a spoiler. And I'm glad you didn't tell me.
Yeah.
But I did not have the coffin board that early. So you don't feel like you're completely in control on the coffin board, which is nice.
It's like snowboard in that it's back steered.
Yes.
But on a skateboard kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not how you would, it doesn't control like Tony Hawk. It doesn't control like skate. It controls like you're snowboarding in real life, not even in a snowboarding video game.
And that's good because it works the same as when you're just traversing on foot. Like you don't really feel like you're completely in control because inertia and momentum kind of propels you forward.
Yeah.
If you're going down a hill and you just want to stop moving, it's just not as simple as you just stopping. Like Sam's gonna keep fucking moving. And it's awesome. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. One thing that did pick up, unlike the main story in side B of the game, is the combat. It's night and day from the first one.
Dude, it's so much fun and it's so clunky in a way that Metal Gear games are clunky.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad you said it.
I love it because like this doesn't operate like The Last of Us. Like everything has weight, everything's a little cumbersome. I don't know, that's just that Kojima flair.
Yeah.
Where it kind of sucks. But I love it.
Yeah.
But you know, like the way you move and the way you shoot, you know this is by design.
Yeah.
Like it's not super smooth because they just couldn't figure out how to do it. This is the experience they want you to have.
Yeah.
And some of the items and I didn't even get all the items and weapons and ways that you can dispel enemies and because you start filling orders and 5-starring everything and you just get more and more items and there's I found out, I talked to you on the phone the other day, I was like, I can't believe they didn't give me piss grenades. And then you told me, they're like, I hate to tell you, but they do give you piss grenades and I guess I just missed it.
So many weapons.
I wanted to throw them a pee.
So many weapons.
Yeah, so many weapons.
How do I already have a silenced level 3 machine gun? I didn't even try the level 1 one yet. This is like, dude, what?
I don't think I ever got a level 3 machine gun or assault rifle. I don't think I got any level 3 weapon at all.
I went pretty hard.
Yeah, I think
those stars weren't gonna earn themselves, but
I got level 3 like exoskeletons and stuff because I loved that.
Yeah, the
like I had that level 3 boost skeleton, dude. I was hoofing it, dude. I was running so fast.
Awesome. Love that.
Dude, BTs hated to see me coming, dude.
Ayo.
I do like how they were different BTs now.
Yeah.
Which were cool.
Loved it.
One part I didn't like was how a lot of the big battles were kind of just like, oh, here's a weak point, shoot that. Here's another weak point, shoot that.
I loved when it was like spidery things though. Obviously the first big mech boss that Higgs presented with the octopus thing. Mm-hmm. There was like weak points in the joints of the tentacles.
Yeah.
And then the big spidery boss at the end, same deal. I love a good weak point that is a hinge on a leg or an arm.
Oh yeah.
I'm a sucker.
It's great stuff.
Yeah.
I just wish they did a little more than that. Because it seemed like that was the whole game.
Yeah.
When it comes to those bigger BTs. But
it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
And then they let you summon BTs.
Yeah.
Straight up like you had a Like, you know what I mean? It was so sick. I was like, oh, I'm summoning a Final Fantasy summon right here. This feels awesome. And then the whole Toho music.
Yeah.
Like it's a Godzilla movie coming in.
Yeah,
I
it was
so here for that, dude.
So awesome.
Oh man, because I don't know about you. I learned this actually late in our friendship that you're also a huge Godzilla kid.
Yeah.
I grew up.
I'm a Godzilla adult. I didn't really give a shit too much about Godzilla when I was younger.
Oh, not me, man. We had all the VHS collections.
Yeah, it's more of a late thing for me getting obsessed with Godzilla. So
Fair enough. I was so here for it. The first movie, one of my favorite films of all time. And then even like the campy Godzilla bullshit where like he can speak and then he just like drop kick, Luke hangs across the whole screen.
Manila.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it when that shit came on screen. I'm summoning this BT and they're just this big battle and then the music comes in. I'm like, oh my God, Kojima. And I know, he's huge into film. That's like his life. And I love those backstories.
He's been ripping off movies for as long as he's been making games, I think.
It's the best. I literally just watched Escape from LA for the first time in my life last night. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is it. This is where it all Pliskin, Snake, like I couldn't believe it. It was awesome. It was
awesome stuff.
Yeah. And I think it's all just so awesome. You can tell like this dude just wants to make things that make him happy.
Yeah, and that's why, like, a lot of people, there are some jaded people who just really shit all over Kojima because they think he's, like, masturbatory and just, like, kind of like a Tarantino of video games where, like, I don't know, self-importance, and I don't know where I'm going with this, except for the fact that it, like Tarantino, I just feel the sense that whoever is at the creative helm of this is having nothing but the most fun that they could possibly have. And it comes through and it doesn't always make sense. Thankfully, it doesn't always make sense because I don't need it to make sense.
Yeah, this is fiction.
I'm along for the ride.
Yeah.
Nothing needs to make sense to me.
It's video games.
Yes, I love, one of my favorite directors is David Lynch, rest in peace.
Yeah,
and a lot of his shit doesn't make sense, but that's why I love it. I'm just here for the ride. I'm here for an experience that just doesn't fucking make sense. Going into a hot spring and letting Dollman sing to you, and he turns into this little old Japanese doll, and they start singing this old Japanese folk song, and it just doesn't make any fucking sense. And I love it, and I'm here for every second of it.
Yes, I love it too.
The J-pop sequence with Die Hardman and Charlie.
Hell yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I was so confused, but I love it so much.
I love it. And I was telling you about it the other day. It's
yes,
like,
queen.
It's like I hate it as much as I love it because they took a very heady scene and what should have been something that just weighed on you and you sat with, they just took the piss out of it, dude. and I was just sitting there just like, what the fuck is going on? You didn't need to do this. But I'm so glad that you did because now I'm just... It was so unexpected.
Yeah, it's candy.
Kojima and friends have always done this shit.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite things in Metal Gear 4 is just hanging out with, I forgot what her name was. The little child who's with you all the time. Just fucking making, Sunny. Her name's Sunny. She's making eggs all the time. There's just so many eggs in that game. Fried eggs for no reason. So many, Johnny shit in his pants all the time for no reason.
All the time. Since the first Metal Gear Solid.
It's just, none of it makes sense. And that's why I love it. Yeah. And I think that's why a lot of other Kojima fans love it. Is because this is video games, man.
This is escapism.
He's doing shit that would cost so much money to put in a movie and that people just don't have the time for. Like you can't throw this scene into a serious 2-hour sci-fi film.
Yeah, you can't you can't ride a hoverboard powered by purgatory tar. And when you ride over a lake, a city comes up from the tars, followed by a giant whale. Like, you can't do that convincingly. It's going to look like CGI slop.
Well, here's the thing, and this is why I feel like when it comes to the general population of people who consume media as a whole, I feel like video games need to be taken more seriously. Because this shit you can do in a movie, but it sucks, right?
Yeah.
But like you can comfortably do this out of bounds shit in a 40-hour game because like it just, I don't know. It's a different experience.
It really
like video
is.
games is like the ultimate artistic form of expression. Come at me. I'm here for it. Explain to me why it's not. You could do things that you can't fucking do in real life in a game, and you get to interact with it. You do not interact with a movie. You do not knowingly interact with music or just static art. Like it's its own thing, and it needs to be fucking taken seriously.
And the way he breaks the fourth wall, sure, it's obviously been done to death in movies, and it will work. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
When you break the fourth wall in a video game, they're talking to you and no one else because the controller is in your hand. And it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to shit on other things because obviously we both fucking love movies. We love music. We know each other from playing music together. I'm really sick and tired of video games not being taken seriously as a form of artistic expression. And that's why I love Kojima, because he takes he has fun with it. And that's what I want. I want you to have fun with storytelling. And he's finding ways that you can do that in the context of an interactive video game experience. And he's having fun with that. And I feel like there are other developers and programmers who do this stuff, but he's the highest profile one. And so he's obviously going to get a lot of hate for it.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm going on this tangent, but it's because I love Hideo Kojima.
You're one of the most passionate gamers I know, bud.
And I have been since I first played Metal Gear Solid as a child, when I should not have been playing a game about human condition and nuclear warfare. Like that's not, as what, 6, 7 years old? Shouldn't have been playing that. And it scared the shit out of me. But it was the first time in my life where I was just like, this is different. This is doing something different that I've never experienced before. And he keeps trying to do that. You can tell he's trying to do things that he's never seen in games before. And if you can't at least appreciate that, then go kick some rocks. We'll be right back.
Are you interested in sharing at all the simple fact that you are a mail carrier by trade? And
that's fine.
What that was like playing this game, but also doing it with your full-time job?
Yeah, I mean, I was a mail carrier when Death Stranding came out. I'm still a mail carrier. It happens to be the only thing I'm even remotely good at. So I think I'm gonna stay doing that. I feel like if me saying that this game and delivering things is satisfying when my job is literally delivering shit, I think it's a testament to just how engrossing this game can be if that's something that you're interested in.
Yeah.
I do gotta ask you, what was some of your favorite combat adjacent equipment?
There was so many options, right?
I have one that I want to highlight if you want time to think of one.
Sure. Yeah.
I love the BT hologram grenade.
I didn't use that thing once, man.
Dude, you needed to at least try it. Dude, it's so funny. You throw this grenade and a fake BT pops up and these people cower in fear. And they're just like, oh my God. And it's just so funny. You could go walk behind them, tie them up. And,
yeah.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun. I didn't use it all the time, but it was definitely fun to use it for a bit.
I went through phases and it progressively got lazier and lazier.
Yeah.
I started this game trying to be just a straight up silent assassin. I was using nothing but the rope, just sneaking around bush to bush, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did use the hologram, like the hologram shelters.
I never used, I haven't.
Just in the beginning though. I didn't use it towards the end.
I didn't use it once.
Then I got the bola gun again. I was like, let's go. I loved it from the director's cut. Tied up people quite a bit on that.
I never used that once.
But then as I got lazier and my vehicles got faster and my roads, I was level 2ing all of my roads. And I was like, dude, let's go, man. I'm playing this game like I'm on Adderall now. I'm just straight up using the machine gun headshots because those have so many bullets as well. Like you kind of just don't run out.
Yeah.
I had extra bullet packs on my backpack and I was just like, quick.
I was trank sniping people.
I loved the tranks.
The silent lightweight assault rifle toggled with single shot semi-auto.
Loved it.
Because I like just hit trigger once, just semi-auto.
Yep.
I love semi-auto, or even just quick like 3-round burst. Whenever I'm playing like a shooter,
Yeah.
I alternate between 3-round burst and just single shot semi-auto
Love it.
if I have the choice. I did shotgun for Ghost Mechs a lot.
Yeah, ghost mechs and shotguns.
And dude, and grenade launches. Dude. Grenade launches for Ghost Mechs, man.
Dude, the rocket launcher at the end was so fun. My Sam at this point is basically fucking RoboCop, and now I got a rocket launcher. It's like, come on, dude. Who's gonna touch me?
Maybe it's just because I love Metal Gear so much.
Metal Gear.
I was left wanting something reminiscent of a Nikita missile. I wanted
a controlled guided
a
missile.
controlled guided missile just to like sneak into a camp with a missile that's run on chiral energy. And that would be fun. And just see people like look back like, and like run away, see the missile coming after you. That'd be fun.
You know where that would have been really, really great? Yeah, let's talk about the ending of this game. Because the trailer of this game, where, you know, Kojima has presented this whole thing where like some of the BTs are coming out of the tar and they're making and forming their own like Megazord type shit. And I remember just being like jaws on the floor, like Pam and Tommy just burst in the door. So then you get to the fucking end. Hartman is integrating the Magellan with this giant BT, forming this Megazord again. And I'm just like, oh, here we go, let's go. And they don't let you play it? They don't let you play the integration of a giant BT and the Magellan?
I understand from a lore perspective why they didn't, but like, come on, man. Let us have the power fantasy.
But I also just can't believe that was the end of the game.
Yeah.
And you showed that whole fucking thing in the trailer. I kind of can't believe that he did that.
Oh, man. Boy, did the end of this game suck.
You think so?
I do.
Pray tell.
I thought you chasing Higgs around in that little fucking graveyard thing was like Vulcan Raven in Metal Gear 1. But for a little bit, I was like, it's kind of cool. You know, it's kind of like you're moving between the shipping containers and like trying to find them and all that. And then you get, you know, the boss battle, like one-on-one fight sequence. And that's fine. It's all so easy.
But it's the spectacle.
It is the spectacle.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm getting to this part when you have first off, the dueling guitars. It's so batshit insane. I love it so much. It's, yeah, I love it. Nothing bad to say about it. It's so stupid, but I love it. When they break and you just have two axes and you're just kind of silhouettes and you're hitting each other, and the dialogue between you guys are taking turns like a call and response thing, and you're using the axe and hitting each other. If you somehow don't connect on the second one, it restarts that same part of the dialogue again when you start doing it. I don't know. It's like I pulled the director's pants down and like saw how the game works. And it didn't feel good. It really didn't. Like that part, it should have been so elegant and it just became so fucking choppy. I do gotta say, it bummed me out. Small gripe. Small gripe. But it was such a pivotal part in the game. I'm nitpicking you.
But yeah, what an ending, huh?
Yeah.
We got that huge payoff with Neil that I loved. I loved. I think a lot of people missed this. We obviously had Sam's backstory of his old partner, Lucy, who is now in this game, fully realized. And what happened with the city that they were in, the Void Out.
Yeah.
We never got any backstory on that in DS1. Neil literally being the catalyst to that Void Out in that city in the hospital, I was like, be still my heart, man. What a payoff. It was him.
Yeah.
The whole time. Sam had Lucy in his arms. He was gonna bring her, maybe save the baby, try to save her.
I was hoping for more exposition into his job because he worked for Bridges, right? Like, he did work for Bridges. He was a porter, but his whole deal was he was bringing brain dead mothers in that were surrogates for bridge babies, which I was like, this is fucking grim. And I want more exposition on that. And I read a book recently called Tender as the Flesh, and has kind of a same thing going on where it's like there is human trafficking involved for the sake of humans as a product in a way. So I was kind of like hoping like, ooh, we're gonna get some like heady shit here. And it is heady, but we didn't really expand much on that except for the fact that when he was going to take Lucy to Mexico, because he is familiar with the networks of human trafficking, if you will. I thought we were gonna get some more stuff in there, and it would have been grim and nice, and I like, heady, scary things like that. But that sounds weird. Don't make it weird. I thought his role in the story was fantastic, like what he represents to Sam.
Yeah.
You are led to believe that Lou could be Neil's daughter.
Yeah.
And then I never once thought that it was actually Sam's daughter.
Sure.
Like, how does that fucking play out? What are the odds?
I was a little underwhelmed with that reveal too. I don't know. Like, I get that ultimately, time is different in whatever beach or lack thereof that you're in. So it's operating differently that when Higgs killed Fragile and Lou.
Oh yeah, Fragile's dead.
Something happened there with time and beach. Yeah. But it didn't really hit me like I think it was intended to. Do you know what I mean?
No, Fragile dying hit me harder.
It did for me too.
Yeah.
But then tomorrow being Lou, I was just like, I was kind of playing. And at that point, I think I was just like, of course she is.
Yeah.
I found it a little Deus Ex Machina, a little shoehorned.
Yeah, I do like it. When you finally get back to Australia after all of this has transpired, and the little ghost cryptobiotes are waking everybody up on the Magellan. So tomorrow was the last one to wake up, I believe, right? It did a little bait and switch. I don't know if you noticed. Right after that happened, it looked like one of those cryptobiotes was heading over to Fragile. And I was like, don't you fucking dare. She is dead. You do not fucking revive her. I do not want to see her alive. Mainly because don't take it back. You did it. You killed her. Do not take it back.
Yeah.
And they didn't. I hope they don't. Because then there's no weight to anything.
Yeah.
If everyone just keeps coming back, there's no fucking weight to anything.
It becomes Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead Man was dead, but then he's not really dead because he's on the beach. And spoiler alert, he's Gray Fox from Metal Gear.
He sure is.
He's a fucking cyborg ninja who just goes around fucking chopping everybody up, and it's so sick, and I love it so much, and I love you, Kojima. But yeah, he comes back, and then Die Hardman comes back, and then Amelie is still on the beach, or maybe a imagination. It's just like, no one's fucking dying in this game. If people can just keep living, there's no stakes. But yeah, so it didn't show that. I thought it was going to happen, and I was just like, I said out loud on my couch, you got to be fucking kidding me. And then it didn't happen, and I was like, good.
I love that. The entire, like you said, the entire weight of it all, null and void.
Yeah.
And that's not fair.
And I thought her character throughout the course of the game was just very sterile and just going through the motions, but getting the story afterwards made that make a little more sense, where she was kind of just dry, clear cut. And it's because she's not really there.
So how did you feel in the big reveal that the DHV Magellan stood for Die Hardman's vessel?
I love it.
It was so good, dude.
I loved it.
Oh man, I loved it so much.
And I'm like another one of those things where it's like, I'm dumb. I should have saw that coming.
How? How would you have?
Because when you have to choose a voice for Charlie, the only voice you're allowed to choose is Die Hardman's.
I didn't know that at the time.
I chose every other one except Die Hardman.
I figured maybe there was a chance that it always picks the last one you chose, and I happen to choose Die Hardman last.
I did look it up online after, and it didn't tell me anything about Die Hardman being alive. It just said the only one you can choose is Die Hard.
You spoilery, slippery serpent.
I didn't get spoiled.
Fair enough.
But because I was just like, well, fuck. Like, if I can choose other people, like, because you could choose
Malingin, Hartman, Deadman.
You can choose Hartman,
That's
Deadman,
the four.
and who?
Mama.
Oh yes, I forgot her name.
I just assumed because I picked Die Hardman last that was what the game gave me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know. No, I would have never guessed that DHV stood for Die Hardman's Vessel. Not in a million years. I loved it. Loved it so much.
So I've never seen a game lean so hard on there definitely being a sequel than this game. Also, Kojima has said that he doesn't want to make the third one. He'll leave that to somebody else if they want to do it.
Well, he's got a pretty big team, so.
And I know arguments will be like, well, he also said that after every Metal Gear game.
It's true.
But Konami was the one calling the shots there.
Yeah.
Konami owns Metal Gear. Lou is there in full Porter garb.
Oh, yeah.
Smoking a fucking cig. Loving it, dude. Nothing made me want to smoke cigarettes more than playing this game.
Don't do it.
I'm 4 years off of cigarettes. Smoked for 20 years.
Don't do it. You've been a good boy.
But dude, I love how much Kojima loves cigarettes, dude. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
Dude, just fragile lighting her cigarettes out of the one of the last cigarette she has, she catches an ember in the air and then fucking, dude, it's so cool.
It's badass.
Cigarettes are back, baby. Cigarettes are so good. Where was I going with this? I got lost in cigarettes. Yeah, Lou sitting on top of the mountain where Sam was, and
in front of a new plate gate, right?
In front of a new plate gate that looks like hands. Looks so sick, and I'm just thinking, like, with the amount of powers that tomorrow Lou has, is gonna make combat and traversal so fucking exciting.
Dude, it's gonna be like Splatoon.
Dude, that's so sick.
You can just get into the ink or the tar and just zip around and stealth kill people.
Yeah, but not only that, when it is showing like the credit sequence, like the first credit sequence,
yeah,
and then it starts showing more landscapes, it is showing like dilapidated highways and also automated porter delivery systems.
Yeah.
Which is what the president wanted and said was going to happen. So it's kind of leading you to believe like, oh, this happened. Porters have been pulled out. No one fucking leaves their houses anymore. Everything is automated. They don't want no one leaving. So they're kind of just saying like, oh shit, the thing that the president said he wanted to happen actually fucking happened. And only people with high level dooms can even fucking step foot outside, which would be Lou. And
probably the highest level dooms.
Yeah, it just seems like you can make a different type of game with the new options available to you as Lou. It could be less about, toughing it through like terrain and it just be more of like, I don't know, solar ash, but making deliveries. Like
that'd be crazy.
So sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Of course, I would want nothing more than a third Death Stranding game. That'd be awesome. A game like this that's very story driven, a lot of people have a lot of different takes and experiences, and I'd honestly love to hear yours. I want to hear more Kojima fans down there in the comments. I want to talk to you. Thanks.
So let us know down in the comments if you plan on playing this game, or if you have, what did you think? What was your experience like? Hit that button that looks like this. And check out one of these other videos.